Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel, and today I have a ThredUp haul to share with you guys. Alright, so that's right, we do not have a mystery box. We have a haul because I did pick out all of these items. I have 10 items to share with you today, and they're not for me, although I am a very frequent ThredUp shopper. That's where like 90% of my wardrobe is from. But I recently did a ThredUp arbitrage kind of video where I picked out a lot of summary items, a lot of skirts, basically just things that I do tend to have a harder time finding in my local thrift stores. And in that last video, I shopped ThredUp sale section. They've been having some really nice sales lately, like up to 70% off, and there's so much stuff on ThredUp that I do think it's helpful to filter out to like 60% off and up. You can check that items need to be new with tags or excellent condition, which is what I always do. So yeah, ThredUp can be a lot, but there are definitely ways to not spend hours and hours and hours on there searching for things. So I decided to do some ThredUp arbitrage again, but this time instead of looking for summer items, I decided to look a little bit ahead and look for fall and winter sweaters. Now I definitely have found some good sweaters here in my local thrift stores, but I feel like it is rare to get like the really nice sweaters with really good materials that are in great shape. So a few weeks ago I was looking around on the website and I was able to find 10 sweaters that I will be listing in my Poshmark closet. I also did find a few good sweaters for myself, but I will save that for a whole different video. But I am really happy with the sweaters I got. The only bad thing is that the average cost of goods ended up being $14, which is very good for ThredUp. They do of course have lower prices than retail, but they're still a little bit too high for me personally most of the time to pick something up from there and resell. I feel very comfortable usually keeping my cost of goods like $6 and lower. So yeah, this $14 per item hurts a little bit, but I do think that a lot of these sweaters are very solid pieces and they're going to be pretty fast flips. But because of that decently high cost of goods, I really can't sell anything for less than $25. So that is kind of a bad thing that I'm gonna have to have that minimum sale price in the back of my mind, which is not something that I'm usually that concerned about. But do let me know, are you someone who tries to keep the cost of goods as low as possible? Like, are you a super frequent bin shopper? Or are you someone who maybe does source from buy, sell, trade, consignment, ThredUp, pay a little bit more for maybe a little bit of an easier sourcing process, but you just don't get as big of a return in the end? But alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so first up we have this really pretty crew neck sweater from Polo Ralph Lauren, and it is a size medium. This is new with tags and it retailed for $298, so this is absolutely one of the better items I think. I feel like I kind of slept on Ralph Lauren for a while. I just like didn't realize it sold so well. I don't know how, but I have really enjoyed selling it recently and I am very happy to get this piece, which I feel like I would not be able to find in the thrift store. This also is 67% linen and 18% cotton. So great materials there, and even though all these things are sweaters, I am just going to go ahead and list them now. But because this is linen, it might actually sell during the summer season. But a very good transitional sweater to say the least, and I just love the look of this. I think it's very fun and also a very timeless piece. That's really what I was focusing on too, and just kind of something I'm thinking about more in general when I am sourcing. Really trying to focus on picking up timeless pieces, good materials. So good materials, good brand, good condition, those were at the forefront of my mind when I was looking on ThredUp. Also, I'm just opening this on camera with you now, so hopefully everything truly is new with tags or in excellent condition. There's been a few times, not very often, but a few times where I'm like, I would not call this excellent condition. But yeah, hopefully no issues today. Now we have a J. Crew sweater dress, and it is a size large. It's a turtleneck, and it's a great neutral color, a little bit of a more slouchy fit. I think this would be about knee length on most people, but I was excited to see this because I have really enjoyed selling J. Crew. But this is a great piece because good reputable brand that people look for and trust, great size being a size large, substantial piece being a sweater dress, and then the material is great because it is 60% merino wool. So of course I will put that in my listing title as well as classic, quiet luxury, minimalist, neutral, just a really good solid piece. I'm finding that I really like to list either good quality staples, neutrals, but then also like really fun, colorful pattern pieces. I am a big shopper on ThredUp, as I said, but also Poshmark. And if I am going to buy something on Poshmark with that expensive shipping, I am personally looking for something that's either like a fun dress, a fun statement piece, or a really good quality neutral staple piece that might have been really expensive retail, and I'm looking to get a discount on the secondhand market. Sorry I'm being a little bit chatty in this video, but since I only have 10 items, I figured I would try to talk a little bit more about each piece. Let me know if you like that. Let me know if you want me to talk a little bit more about pieces in just my normal thrift hauls. Oh, this is one I actually did get for myself, but I don't know. I might list it and then just borrow it if it's still listed. So this is one I actually would say is not in excellent condition at this moment, but I'm not worried about it. So there is a fair bit of pilling going on, but thankfully that's like the easiest fix, and that's like one of the only fixes I feel like I'm capable of. If it's still not looking great and I don't feel like I can get $25 for it, I definitely will still keep it. But anyway, this is from J. Jill. It is a size large, and it is acrylic, cotton, and polyester, so no wool or cashmere or anything like that. But I do think it is a really fun, kind of vintagey looking winter Christmassy turtleneck dress. I think it technically is a tunic, but I probably would wear it as a dress with leggings. I don't know, I'd have to try it on and see how far down it goes on me. So yeah, you may or may not see that one listed on my Poshmark, and that actually would be like the 11th piece that I am listing. Now another great neutral sweater, and you're gonna see a few that look very similar to this. So this is another piece from J. Crew, and this is a size medium. This one is 35% acrylic, 28% merino wool, and then also 15% alpaca. So I love that it's a good neutral, but with paying $14, of course I wanted it to be a good neutral that's also good brand and great materials. And yeah, I have always had great luck selling these neutral cream, ivory, white sweaters. They're always going to be in style. They are just a classic holiday piece, and this would be a great one to wear with like a skirt, patterned pants, really anything. And thank God that is in excellent condition. The one thing I was a little bit worried about with looking for items with wool was things being shrunken, and definitely when I was looking on ThredUp, there were a few items that I was interested in, but I was like, oh, it looks kind of shrunken and I don't want to take the risk. I could get my money back on a lot of these items, but you know, you just don't want to have to deal with like reaching out and doing the return and all of that. It's better just to kind of like avoid it if you're nervous about a piece. And that was one that I was a little bit worried about, but looks really good. And I think this actually is pretty recent. Holiday 2020, so not super old, not super new. But yeah, you could wear that for the rest of your life. Now we have a Free People sweater, and this is a size large. It definitely was rare for me to be able to get this sweater for a pretty good price. A lot of their Free People sweaters are marked up really high, but I love that this is a size large, and it looks like it is just cotton, nylon, and acrylic. But I did look up comps for this sweater, and they did look to be pretty good. Kind of basic at first. It is a gray long sleeve sweater dress or tunic, but then it does have this like ribbon lace-up detail. And yeah, again, looks to be in basically perfect condition. Now, kind of a spoiler, we have another piece for myself, but you're gonna see something very similar that I'm selling. This I think is so cute, so that's why I did have to get it in green for myself. So this is another J. Crew piece. The tag is cut out at the top, but they did list this as a large. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the details, but it's like a short sleeve, really chunky turtleneck tunic length sweater, and there's like these two front pockets, and there's this fun button detail. I did look up comps for all these things, and I don't remember exactly what like the average sold price was for a lot of them, but many of these pieces I am going to be listing over $50 just because of the quality, condition, materials. But this is also from fall 2020, just like that other J. Crew sweater. Now we have an Anthropology sweater. This is from Sleeping on Snow, and it is a medium, and this is definitely a little bit of an older piece because I don't even know if they do make Sleeping on Snow anymore. And it is a polyester and nylon blend. So ideally it would have some wool or something in it. And I remember I was debating on this, but I think this one might have only been like $11 on sale. And it is a really nice chunky red, and I do very well with these very chunky sweaters. It does have like all this fuzziness on it, like it almost looks like hair. So I'm assuming it came slightly like that. I don't know if it got a lot worse over time. So I'll have to try to look at some stock photos and see if that's how it is intended to be, or if I should like really go at this with the sweater shaver. So yeah, we'll see about this one, but I do think it is very, very cute. Okay, this is one that I am nervous about. So this is from the Cashmere Project, and it is a size medium. And as you might guess, it is 100% cashmere. So always a risk that the cashmere stuff is gonna have a hole in it, but it was such a good price, and it's so rare, I feel like, to find good quality 100% cashmere pieces at the thrift store that I was willing to trust them, take the risk, and as of now it's looking really good. Like, it looks like it probably really was never worn too much at all. And I do like that even though it is black, it has like a subtle texture pattern to it. Yeah, and it's ribbed, of course, extremely comfortable, stretchy, and then it has like a side slit. I think we're in the clear, you guys. Hopefully when I go to list it, I don't find any tiny little holes or anything. Another one I did get for myself that I'll talk more about in a different video, but this is so, so cute from Joie. So expensive originally, and I love that color. Okay, now we've got a nice thick one. I do like that on ThredUp now you can search things like chunky sweaters, so that is what I did just because I love selling chunky sweaters. You usually can get a little bit more for them, and they're just more sought after, I feel like. So that was what I typed in when I started this whole process. But this is from Banana Republic, and it's a large. Like J. Crew, the stuff is not cheap originally, and of course people know it, they trust it, and this one is 45% acrylic, 35% merino wool, and 20% alpaca. Love that it's a size large. I love the materials. And just like that J. Crew one, a classic, like creamish sweater. Now this one though, it does look like it's gotten a little bit loose in some parts, but it's kind of uniform, so actually that might be intentional. I'm like having deja vu. I'm like, did I already do this one? But no, we have another J. Crew white creamish sweater, and this one is 35% acrylic, 28% wool, and 15% alpaca. So is this the same as that other one actually? Okay, not exactly, but very similar. Definitely from different years. But this is gonna look like deja vu to you guys too. All these sweaters look very similar, but they do sell extremely well, and it is in perfect condition. Okay, and then the last thing looks like it was selling very well. This is the only piece that is not a sweater. This is Maeve by Anthropologie, and it is a size large. I love the neutral color. It is a longer length, great size being a size large, and again, like something I would really probably not ever find at the thrift store. But alright everybody, that is everything that I have to share with you. But let me know what you think. Would you have spent the $140, $14 per item? It was one of those things that when I was checking out, I was like, great, and then I kind of had a little bit of buyer's regret. But now that I'm looking at everything and reminding myself of how good each piece is, I feel very confident that I will be able to sell all of these pieces during this upcoming fall season, and that I will be able to make a nice profit on each one. And as someone who just goes to the thrift store for about an hour and a half once a week, it is really nice to be able to place an order from the comfort of my home, put in all those filters. So I do think that $14 per item is a fair price. And of course I'll keep an eye on how this stuff is selling, but I do think that this is a way that I will source from ThredUp every few months or so. But if you like this video, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!